I am the true alpha male, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and possibly your Jewish accountant. Let's get to work. Let's check the mail. A lot of mail came in today. You know, during COVID-19, people are writing more mail. They're writing the letter on the piece of paper, putting it in the mail. I look at my mailbox. Wow, look at all the letters I got today. Or I just look at the app on my phone and I look at the new comments. I love the screen name and I love the little icon here. It's Spider-Man, like from the 1970s cartoon show apparently. And the screen name is great because it's Large Shrimp. Large Shrimp. He left a comment on the video, "You fear going bald because you're not an interesting person." So here's the comment, Large Shrimp, quote, "I heard something from a Joe Rogan podcast," which you know, he's my favorite, Joe Rogan, "that I thought was interesting. One of his guests said that losing your hair while being young especially is like one of your first brushes with your own mortality. While I think that maybe is a bit dramatic, I do think that going bald when you're younger can be a huge growth point because it forces you to consider who you are without your hair, which is something that some people won't even learn in the 30s. Side note, you know who those people are? They're going to be the hair transplant defenders. They're the people that try to push Propecia on everyone else. They're going to ultimately become MGTOWs. That's who those people are going to be. And they're going to end up as atheists. There's, for some reason, demographically, men that are really big into hair transplants happen to be atheists or agnostics and MGTOWs. It's a really weird situation. I should almost just make a video just saying that. I should, I guess. So, going back to the comment here, he says, "All the bald men I've ever met tend to be extremely charismatic and kind, and it almost makes me think that having to go through that experience has the potential to be one of the best things that could have happened for a person's development. But hey, what do I know?" That got 2 thumbs up, and of course I commented and I said, I approve this comment 100%. Again, let me endorse Max De Silva. He's got a YouTube channel. He's, I think, 11 years younger than me. I think he's in his late 20s. I don't know exactly his Norwood stats because he keeps his head shaved. It might be Norwood 4 or something, but he lost his hair in his 20s. Granted, he's got the beard. Granted, he works out. Good looking guy. I like the guy. I strongly endorse you watching his videos if that's what you're needing. But I feel he's a prime example of this. And I think he's still, I think he's still kind of working through it a little bit. And that's fair enough. Good, because it's almost like you don't really start even truly maturing as a man until you're age 35. You have to get over yourself. And it takes 35 years as a man to get over yourself, to realize, oh, it's not about me, it's about everybody else. They judge me and give me value based on how I help them deal with their own problems. That's really the secret to this. Oh, so like once you can realize that at age 35, then you really start maturing. Just like I said, you most aggressively go bald before the age of 35. Pretty much if you're gonna go bald, you're gonna mainly go bald before age 35. Similarly at age 35, you're gonna get to the point where you're able to really start maturing at that age too, because it takes you that long to figure that out. So that's totally cool, and I love it, and I respect that Max is, you know, late 20s, but you can see that journey in progress, and I love that. I love to see people on a quest for maturity and knowledge. Max De Silva, love that guy. I have a lot of respect for him, and I think he's a prime example of someone who's actually going through this as we speak. Max De Silva, I like the guy. So yeah, and definitely as far as this brush with death, facing your own mortality, absolutely. I want to say, not that most of my viewers don't care about this, because when it comes to my personal life, I've learned that my viewers don't care. Right, when I write my songs, I pour out my heart, people don't watch those songs. They don't care about what the song's about. People don't care about, people who watch my videos, they only want me to talk about hair. They don't want me to tell you anything about what I'm actually feeling as an individual human being. They think I'm just the character I play on YouTube, the internet dad who talks about hair loss. They can't imagine, wait, Nick Shell actually has his own like life goals and thoughts and personal issues going on that he's sorting out. But I'm gonna break the fourth wall and just tell you something that I am going through. You know, last year I made a whole series talking about existential crisis. When I turned 38, I got to the point I was at the top of the Maslov's hierarchy of needs pyramid. I was like, wow, all of my needs are accounted for. I'm aware of that. I'm grateful for that. And now it's just the self-actualization, the top pyramid in Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. Google it if you don't know what it is, because it's really awesome. But basically, we're always searching for the next thing. And once you get to the top, it's kind of weird. Like you're on the top of the pyramid looking down like, wait, where's everybody else? Like, why can't other people relate to me? I need to reestablish my goals now. And that's what happens when you're in that midlife crisis, which I lived, that was my year last year, 2019, age 38. So now I'm a couple of days away from turning 39. And I was telling my wife that it's not so much about the existential crisis, but I'm coming to terms with my own mortality that much more. And imagine I'm doing this in the middle of COVID-19 lockdown. So imagine that. Imagine I'm on furlough from my job. I'm being told until July 1st. So about 90 days of no work, making these videos while my kids are asleep, when I'm not playing with them and helping them with their school and that sort of thing. So imagine what a time to be going through this. But yeah, I mean, I'm the opposite. You know, there's people who are depressed and suicidal, and the default mode in their brain is, maybe I should just kill myself. And they're just truly depressed. And I think people like that, my theory is, they have unresolved trauma from their childhood. They were abused, they were neglected. They never got to get counsel through that. They never saw a counselor, a psychiatrist, that sort of thing. Often those people end up getting involved in drugs, addiction, alcoholism, or they end up depressed and suicidal. Ultimately because they never got help with those things. What's weird is I'm the opposite of that person. I'm not depressed. I'm not suicidal. In fact, I don't want to die. So instead of thinking, how can I kill myself? I'm like, how can I not die? That's something I'm thinking. And that's part of the reason why I'm so into my own health as well. You know, granted my gym's closed, but I'm still running 3 miles a day every day that the weather is allowing, the schedule allows. You know, I have a very strict diet, in case you don't know that about me. So for me, I'm the opposite of depressed and suicidal. I don't want to die. And granted, here's what's really interesting and part of the complex I'm having. As you probably have figured out or gathered, I am a Christian, and not in a generic sense like, oh, it's Easter, happy Easter, he's risen, Facebook. No, like legit Christian. Like even with the lockdown, what does our family do on Sunday mornings? We turn on the laptop at 9 o'clock and we watch the worship service, and we watch our pastor, Southview is our church, and we're participating even now. Like that's our family, like praying as a family, reading Bible stories. That's who we are as a family. That's who I am as a person. So for me, what I believe, my faith, is that I believe the Bible, that when my time comes and when I die, I will pass on to heaven because I have placed my faith in Jesus Christ as the Son of God. And I've accepted that I was born a sinner. I'm not a good enough person. And I'm only good because of God's grace. That's the basic breakdown of what Christianity is. And that is what I believe. That is what my family believes. That's who we are. Yet still, because I'm always searching, I recognize that and I wrote the song about this called I Still Believe. You can check it on this channel. Please watch it. Please see that side of me. But it's me admitting that there's a paradox involved where my faith is so strong that I admit I can be wrong. But does that make me weak? That's actually a line in the song. But it is an interesting point to think, well, even if I'm wrong about everything I believe and everything I have faith in, and I'm wrong, I still believe despite that. Because faith is not seeing. Faith is not seeing and acting and living anyway. So it is ironic that I would even fear death because I know what I believe is happening when I die, when it comes to my soul and it comes to eternity and all that stuff. But still, I don't want to die. I still don't want to face that. There's still uncertainty involved in that. I don't want to die. I want to keep living, and I want to keep serving my purpose, which to love God is to serve others. To love God is to serve others. Ultimately, the way I see biblically in the New Testament, as far as what is the meaning of life, it seems to me very clearly Jesus answered that when he said, love God with all your heart, but also love your neighbor as yourself. Because how can you love God if you don't love other people as much as yourself? It's a matter of being selfless. It's a matter of getting over yourself. It's a matter of realizing it's not all about you. So ultimately, man, I often do this. I'm like, wait, what's this video about? And I'm sure it'll all be cohesive and all work out as far as all this goes. But yeah, there we go. It's talking about a brush with death there. So yeah, ultimately, I'm very much in that mindset. And if you notice, almost all of my songs mention death or are specifically about death or about the afterlife and that sort of thing. 80% of the content is ultimately about that. So it's something I think about a lot. I did want to end this video though by another comment on the same video. I want to give a shout out to Phil Berry also. And he said, quote, "Just like to say thank you to Nick. This channel has helped me out massively, and I'm a lot more comfortable about my hair loss now than I was a few months ago." So hey, that's why I'm ultimately here. Yes, I make money from the ad revenue, and that's important, especially for a guy who doesn't have his job right now. But my heart is in helping and mentoring people. That's one of my gifts that I can help other people with. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for being involved. Your comments are right here.